Hello and welcome back to the Daylight Saving Show, the show where I, your long locked leader, and my panel of particularly pensive peoples gather twice a year to discuss the multitude of ways of saving one of our planet's more apt solutions to reading a book at night or walking outside with a jacket. That's right, I'm talking about daylight savings. It's been said that daylight saving time was invented due in large part to the global banana trade. Apparently, it's always been difficult to regulate trade of bananas because no one is sure on the exact number of bananas grown each year. Whenever a team would start making a tally, daylight come and so they all go home. Daylight saving was created to give the talliers a little extra time to finish their counting. I am your host, Van Windsor, and with me today are my crack team of environmental experts. Starting here with Trace Windsor, the top researcher of vegetation and sunlight relations. Now, Trace,
Oh.
you're
Yes.
currently working on a paper outlining how the overuse of sun-dried tomatoes each year is actually draining sunlight from the sun without actually recycling it back in a productive way. Now, do you believe that the stoppage of the farming of sun-dried tomatoes would be sufficient enough to cease having me wake up an hour early each year?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Absolutely, Van. You are dead on with that. And if I'm being honest, if we could stop doing the white women Instagram sun-dried tomato chip, whatever is going on, we could probably turn the doomsday clock back. I would say at least 30 minutes, if not an hour. I mean, it would save climate and sunlight. Um, you know, more sun, people think warmer temperature. No, that's backwards.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bore you guys with the science of it. You can go listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson for that. But yeah, if you stop buying the sun dried tomato chips, it would save our planet for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
No. Yeah. We'll get more into the detail of that later. Let's move on to our next panelist. He is the host of his own podcast, all about sunlight. Wouldn't you know? Daylight Investing Time. It's the name of his podcast. A podcast all about using every hour of sunlight available, no matter its fluctuating schedule, to boost your day in every way. It's Kenny Smithy. He's here with us, everyone. Kenny,
Me.
you love talking about how great our sun is and the benefits it brings. And that constant complimenting has led some speculators to speculate a small little crush is happening between you and that great big ball of hot gas we have in our universe. Maybe more. I don't know. Uh, I'm not the one to say. So, Kenny, what do you got to say about those rumors? Is there like a weird like spark going on between you and the sun? Because you love the sun.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but we have been spending a lot of time together. If you can tell by my complexion,
Oh, we can tell.
it's hours and hours. And when I hate losing that 1 hour that I get to spend when if we fall back. So
Hmm.
this time of year is great when we get to
Exactly.
go forward and I get to spend an extra hour with my baby.
What's your favorite activity to do with your baby, the sun?
Really just lay underneath of her and let it soak all in.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
That
it.
sounds
That's great.
wonderful,
I
I
love
love
that.
actually.
soaking.
yeah,
I love
Yeah.
soaking.
couldn't
That's
agree
what it
more.
is.
Yeah, man.
That's
Soaking's cool.
letting her just cover you fully with her
Yeah,
warmth.
just
Oh man, I'm
yeah.
jealous. I'm
Yeah, I
jealous of
like
that
this show.
relationship. All right, we'll get back with that. We'll get into the saucy details of that relationship
I
later.
think you and I need to talk later, actually.
Yeah, we do. That's gonna be for our unrated Patreon show. We'll get some pictures and videos of that going later.
I got some images.
There you go.
Ah!
And finally, it brings me a whole day of sunlight to introduce our final expert on tonight's show. A man who all are familiar with. His work will transcend the centuries. It's Mason Greenwell, the author of the hit young adult book series Time to Save Daylight, which chronicles the exciting adventures of Lady Light as she traverses exotic environments in her eon-spanning fight against the evils of the Nighters. Mason, give us a rundown of the next and final book in the series. We're so excited, man. I can't put the books down.
Well, obviously, the last book, if you've read it, ends on a pretty big cliffhanger, right? So, battle's still fully engaged. Like, yeah, there was a big hit to the light side, obviously, but the queen and all of her troops, they're rallying together. So it's one of those underdog stories where, you know, the little versus the many, um, and then just seeing what could happen with that. But I think if you stay tuned and read till the end, I think you'll really enjoy the ending because I think it's going to be a little bit different than what you're expecting, and I
Mm.
think it shows like kind of just how we need to embrace light and dark, and
Right.
how we can't have one without the other. So it's just kind of like a play on that,
Yeah.
So
Now, I know this is the last book, and it's been a while since this, what I'm about to say, but looking back at the ninth book in this series, because you're on
mhm.
like the 20th, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But on the ninth book, you got into a lot of controversy because you'd put in the ints from like Lord of the Rings. You had like implemented
Mhm.
that fantasy myth
Yeah, what did I
into
do with
your
them
world.
again?
The where did you get the idea
Okay.
to have two tree people
Mhm.
make love, like in like to
Right.
detail it so perfectly?
Well,
It,
I mean,
where did you get that idea? Because I'll be honest, it stems, get it, it stems for, I think, from inspiration from Stephen King's It, because one of
mm,
them was a seedling
right.
in your book, and it's controversial. But do you have anything to say about that?
Right.
I know
So
you get this a lot. You get this a lot. Press is always wondering, why are you putting young trees in sexual situations like that? They can barely stand up without a pole like tied around them to keep them straight. Why are you letting them have sex?
well, first off, multitude of reasons, right? Uh I did not get inspiration from Stephen King. I think this is more of just it needs to be understood that these creatures are just other creatures, right? They live the same way that we do. They talk, they walk, they zigzag, just like we do. And I think it's an important feature to always put in there that other things, even though they look different, are similar to us, right? And so we need to see different aspects of that to really get a better visual and pass that message along that, just because someone looks different doesn't mean they are different, right?
I love
So,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. This is gonna be a
Yeah.
great show, guys. I'm so excited. So glad you're all here. I think we're really gonna get down to brass tacks and figure out what the f is up with DST. Yeah, let's say stuff.
Yeah.
Roll the
Fuck
Yeah.
it,
intro
really.
music. Let's go. Roll the intro. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, my book has nothing to do with that either. It's just kind of similar titling. So, I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great to have you. We're glad you're
Yeah.
here. You're
Yeah.
very popular with your book series. That's why you're here.
Yeah. Also, I have a
Um,
stack of pennies.
that's always good to have.
Yeah.
It's good for if you get
Just
pulled over,
just in
you
case
get
I find
sucked on
one
some
on
pennies.
tails, I can find another one heads up and cancel them out,
50% chance of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start off the show with basically, what is daylight savings time? What is that? Why is it here? Why does it exist exactly? Does anyone have a clear answer for me?
I really thought it was for the farmers, but I have no idea.
Yeah,
I would believe
when
that.
I grew up, I was told it was for the farmers to better utilize the sunlight or something.
Yeah, like
But it didn't really make sense to me because they always wake up or they start work like before the sun rises, so it doesn't necessarily matter what time it is because they're based off the sun, right? So
Yes.
I never really understood that, but
So
I don't know. I think it's very dumb, and yet it's still a thing.
it seems like it said it was started back in World War One to conserve energy during World War One. Apparently it's a Canadian invention. So it's like,
Okay.
why are we even? Why are we listening to this? Why are we doing this? It's Canadian. Let them do it. And then I'm reading other things that say it was created so that people can get more use of daylight, which farming makes sense. That makes the most sense. Uh, it was apparently Benjamin Franklin is often credited as the first to suggest it in the 18th century, after he realized he was wasting his Parisian mornings staying in bed. Probably because he was fucking all the time.
Yeah,
He was
that's what I
sleeping with
thought.
everyone. That's why he was in
Yeah,
bed all
that's
the
what I
time.
thought. And he was killing people and buried them in his basement or something.
Yeah. But he was also having a lot of sex, which is cool.
Yeah.
we
And
need
he's
to.
on the $100 bill. And that's
He wanted the turkey to be the national bird. Which
That's
is cool.
dumb.
No, that's cool.
not cool. No, not cool.
People celebrate turkeys every single year. They
Right.
eat them. I don't.
Right.
If you wait,
But people want to sub that out for ham now.
no, I won't do it because I don't
Yeah,
like.
I
ham
won't
on
do it
Thanksgiving.
either.
I don't
I'm
like Thanksgiving
big
ham.
turkey
I don't
guy.
like Christmas ham. Like the big ham. I like ham slices. I like pulled pork. I don't like sliced ham. Like ham when you get the big
Okay.
old ham
Oh,
and then
oh,
like
it's
someone
great.
slices it. I don't
Yeah,
like
it's
that
pretty
ham.
good.
I don't know
Like a
why I don't like that
spiral.
ham. I don't like it.
Okay, that's fair.
Always-
But daylight savings time.
Yeah, we're on. Yeah, that ham is next week. That's next week's topic.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Ham and getting the bacon.
We need to
So-
blame the person that came up with time
Yeah,
construct.
seriously.
Yeah, Father Time.
Because
Is he not regulating this? Like, because like people just like decided to start doing this. Where's Father Time to like lay the law? Is he like God, where he's like, oh, I used to be a big deal and show up and talk to people, but now like, you guys do whatever you want. It's like,
He
no,
retired.
that
He retired.
causes issues. God has to be. If God wants to be using the whip on us to keep us in line, use the whip, bro. Don't think that humans are gonna just like figure it out on our own. Like eventually you'd think like humans can't figure this out on our own, dude. At least back
I think he
then.
did figure that out.
He's really
Here's the thing,
slacking then.
God was just like,
right
I'm
now.
done. You know what?
Yeah.
I can't keep picking up your mess.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly. You got to.
Yeah, he was like, I'm
on your
tired of
own.
this.
We're doing fine now.
My thing is, it is weird that we all, like see or like we do this, but it's weirder that I'm looking at a map right now that says the state of Arizona doesn't do it, but it's not the entire state. Some of it does do it.
Oh,
That's
I knew,
dumb.
I knew that Arizona
How does
didn't
that
do
make
it, but how
sense?
does not the entire state?
well, like sometimes of the
it's-
year they're 2 hours ahead of us or whatever, and sometimes they're only 1 hour.
They're Mountain Standard Time, so typically they're an hour behind, but during daylight savings they're 2 hours behind.
Yeah.
Arizona.
But there's
go ahead.
it doesn't even make sense. It's like there's the very northeast corner of Arizona does participate, but then there's a little blob, so I don't know if there's a city there.
Maybe
And then
Phoenix.
Everything else to the southwest does not
Yeah.
participate.
What
I'm
reading-
sure
How do-
in like the
I
more
don't understand.
industrial areas they do acknowledge it because for business purposes.
What I'm reading
The rest
here.
of the state's just retirees, so they don't.
Yeah, there's places
Yeah.
where you would go to work and you would have to leave earlier or later to get there on time. Like that's so
Where
weird.
you're gonna change
Yeah.
your entire life ideals because of your job, bro? No,
No.
you just if you just get off work 2 hours early. Don't even worry about it.
They probably already deal with that all the time too.
You're
So
like,
you
oh,
probably
that's
only work like
weird.
Why
6
can't
or
I get an
7
extra
hours.
hour of work? Because you don't believe in daylight savings time. And are you gonna fold on your beliefs, on your ideals, and be a fucking sheep, or are you gonna stand your ground and be incorrect about the time? You know, it's one of those things. You gonna die on
Hawaii-
that hill, or are you just gonna
Hawaii
you're gonna fold
doesn't
in?
either.
So what I'm
Well,
reading
Hawaii
here
is kind of different.
Hawaii's like, do they even have clocks there? Like, what do you even need a clock for in Hawaii?
is that
They're
racist?
just
Is that a racist comment? What you just said?
no.
It's Hawaii. It's a
It's like
state.
paradise. What do you need?
It's a
what do you
US
need to know
state.
time for?
Okay.
It's a government state. What are you talking about?
I'm
They have
just
clocks
saying, like,
there. They
You
probably
just wake
still
up and go swimming and surfing. You don't
they
have to worry
Yeah,
about
dude.
sundials. They don't have clocks. Are you crazy?
That's what's. Yeah, I don't know. You know that John Prine song? When you buy the farm, what do you get? Or I'm going to take that wristwatch off my arm
Is that
after
the
you buy the farm.
is it the rich
No.
man of Richmond guy?
No,
No.
different guy.
John
Different guy.
Prine?
John Prine died to COVID, I believe.
Oh.
John Prine. Oh,
Mhm.
I was gonna make a pickle joke, but it's Prine, not Brine.
Ah,
All right.
Yeah.
So what
You
I'm
can
reading here,
you can still make it if you want.
he, no, we'll just
Okay, don't.
doesn't follow the topic of the show.
No,
What I'm
it'd
reading
be a
here,
bitter taste.
it says Arizona doesn't follow daylight savings time because the state decided there wasn't a good reason to have sunset an hour later during the hottest months of the year. The only parts of Arizona that do follow daylight savings time are those within the Navajo Nation. So rise up.
Oh.
I say put all those white people who aren't following daylight savings time, put them in reservation camps, get them off of federal aid. Fuck those guys.
Wow.
Get the Navajo Nation. They rule all of Arizona, I say. Fuck it. They're
So
following the rest of the rules. Let them have it. Same with Texas.
Why
Tell
why should
Texas
we
to
let
fuck
them?
off.
They shouldn't follow the rules, though.
But they do because they're respectful.
No, because
but
the government killed all their people.
Yeah, I bet it's more of like a force.
But
They're
there's-
it's like,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
reservation's like federally controlled, so it's more of like a hey,
right.
the federal government follows daylight savings time, so you guys have to also. But these white
Yeah.
people
Also,
don't have
they
to.
can- Probably so
Probably
they
what it was.
casinos
Huh.
open.
Well, Mason,
Oh
you're-
yeah.
that's why it's white. That's why you guys are the experts. You know, I bring you on the show. You help me figure this stuff out. That's why you're here.
I think it's more like what Kenny said though, like the farming thing. I could see them
I could see that.
100 years ago. Native Americans just did it because of the harvest. 200 years ago, whatever.
They were doing it.
I
High
also
five.
saw
Anybody high five?
something
Kenny, high
that
five? Yeah, dude.
it also like just to conserve energy, but also helps reduce like car accidents because most car accidents happen at nighttime, I guess. And so when you
Huh.
have an extra hour of sunlight,
Well, I'm still blaming it on time. If they wouldn't have came up with the construct of 6
Yeah.
7 o'clock, it's just the sun goes up, the sun comes down.
I think there should be
Yeah.
3 times. There should be morning and like noon, afternoon, and then evening.
Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got an article here by
Don't worry about the number.
this is on
Yeah, exactly.
DallasSleep.com. It says 5 good reasons for getting rid of daylight savings time. Or
Nice.
daylight saving time. Because I always think it's savings, but it's actually saving time. So I don't know.
Well, I guess yeah. That makes
One of the
sense.
reasons is there are negative health effects associated with daylight saving time, and they're kind
you
of
change your
saying it looks like
sleep
they're
schedule?
saying negative health effects due to losing an hour of sleep. It throws off your circadian rhythm,
Yeah.
which I think that's true, but they really should just remind people that daylight savings time is coming up like in a week or so instead of like it's always like the day before daylight. Hey, don't forget tomorrow.
Yeah.
2 a.m. tomorrow is daylight savings, so you're gonna lose sleep tonight. And you're like, oh fuck, thanks, great.
I mean,
Glad
I
I
run
didn't
into
raged
people at
all
work.
night last night. I need
I run
sleep.
into people at work that like they are prepared like a week ahead. They're like, "Hey, don't
that's
forget
crazy.
next Sunday we have to set your clocks back." I'm like, "I'm not gonna remember that," and my
Yeah.
phone does it for me anyway. They're like,
I was
"Old,
gonna say
old people
I don't have a clock to set.
It seems
My
like these are
microwave
all-
timer is never right, so I'm not gonna change that.
this
Yeah,
list
my
is
My
all
microwave
phone will
just-
do it for me.
Yeah,
My wife
This list
My
is all-
microwave is now right because I didn't change it from last time.
Didn't change it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
My-
remembered I have to do that now. I
My
check on
truck
clocks.
one, one in my truck, I never remember to do it. So yeah, it just goes back and forth between an hour right or an hour behind or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
hour-
God damn, so
Hour
dumb.
ahead. No, hour
Yeah.
behind.
I can't figure out how
Yeah,
to
hour
change
behind.
it.
I always
If
forget.
anybody
You
knows
have to
how
go to your
change it.
settings. What car is it? What truck?
Dude,
Chevy?
it's older than me. Yeah,
Oh.
it's like analog shit.
It's getting
there's-
to the point.
Oh.
I think
there's
daylight
probably a date and
savings-
time button somewhere.
Daylight savings won't like just stop, but it'll eventually dissolve away because it's getting so confusing for people because people just don't know, and it's been going on for so long that no one's explaining it anymore because it's like this is just what you do.
Yeah.
Set your
Well,
clock
it
back,
almost
or forward,
stopped.
and then
They
some
were
people-
talking about it last year.
Yeah, no, it like passed the Senate saying
Yeah,
like
it's
to
sitting-
abolish it, and
I
then it
remember
got up
that.
to the passed the House, went up to the Senate. I think it got denied in the Senate though because
and
it
it's
was going to
just-
change too much, and it was like that's dumb. It's going to keep
Yeah.
things the same.
It's just like
Um,
I don't know. Like, we already have leap year. Why do we have to keep changing our fucking schedules around? Like, because someone 1,000 years ago didn't make the calendar correctly, or didn't make clocks correctly, or whatever, didn't account for something. And it's like suddenly we're all the ones paying the brunt for it.
And
Shit
also, it's just like you get an extra hour of sunlight. Most people can't even enjoy that hour because they're still working.
Exactly.
It's not. That's not the point. Like, most people during that time are just pissed off because they wake up and it's dark out, and then they go home and it's dark out. Like, at least
That's
have
me.
it where one's light.
So I have some myths here that we've already said on the show that we need to go ahead and squash before we get this out here, just so to
Hit me.
keep our own credibility going. It's a myth, and this is on me. It's a myth that Benjamin Franklin is responsible for this. His
He's the
proposal to-
worst, dude.
His proposal to set, dude, I read that on a validated website called Google. Okay,
Okay.
it was implemented. His proposal to set clocks forward was completely satirical. But get this though, another myth is that daylight saving time was created to help farmers use more of the daylight.
Right.
Hey, ding, ding,
It's
ding,
actually
ding.
kind of funny. This person's kind of an asshole. They say that's actually
Yeah, he is.
kind of funny when you think about it. So Kenny, you can
It
fucking
is.
full force to beat this person up. They're calling
Where's
you.
he at?
They're calling you funny, but like not in a cool way.
Where's he at?
Dallas apparently he's sleeping, so it should be easy to find him. As one person pointed out recently, farmers go to work with sunrise and end the day with sunset. They don't look at their clocks. Farmers are
Right.
famous for never looking at clocks. They don't read watches. They don't care about that kind of stuff. You know,
Right.
they just follow the sun.
Right.
Wow.
This isn't like the 1800s.
I think it
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah, their
I think
tractor definitely has a clock in it somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it really
for sure.
was proposed as a way to save energy. I think what Kenny said at the very beginning, or no, whoever said World War I at the very beginning,
Mason said it.
whoever said that, except for Mason,
I'll
they
take
were
credit.
right.
Do you remember that, Mason?
Yeah, I'll take credit. Yeah, that was me,
Because
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
this says though, depending on where you live in the country, energy consumption even increases as a result of DST.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think it would.
So like,
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
think I don't think anyone knows what's going on with this anymore. I think everyone just has their own reasons. It's like religion. They
Yeah.
have their
See,
own ideas of what's going on.
I think we're really good at just sticking with what we know, and it's like, if it's not fixed, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And but it is kind of broke.
I think if
You
we
know?
stopped,
Because
we
everyone
would never
everyone
notice.
complains.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every time someone finds out it's daylight savings, especially like the springtime one where it's like, hey, you lose an hour, it's all complaining. But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
at the fall one, when you gain an hour, everyone acts like it's like a godsend, like, oh my god, an extra hour of sleep. When it's like,
Yeah.
not really.
I wasn't sleeping anyway.
Yeah, you're probably most people
Just
like
the
probably
government
party.
keeping us compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preach.
Screw those guys.
Gives us something to look
Um,
forward to all year,
this-
so they can.
Yeah. That
See,
is.
that's what I-
distract
that
us with
is,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, there you
That's
go,
what I
Kenny.
thought it was in school. I remember in school just thinking it was something for them to like not control kids, but like just to get us excited about something. Like, oh,
Like
remember the
like
clocks,
the
and you're like,
Pledge of
oh, I'm gonna go
Allegiance.
home and change the clocks.
Like the
Yeah,
Pledge
it's
of
just
Allegiance,
something we
same
did.
thing. Bullshit.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I don't need to do that before school.
Yeah. I just hated I hated it growing up because during the fallback when we got an hour, that was like typically always during like youth deer season or just regular deer season. I don't hunt too much anymore. But
It'd get dark super early.
yeah, so I would still have to wake up at the same time and then just have like an hour less because we got more time out in the field. And it's just like, as a kid, some kids probably really enjoyed that, but I was just like, that's dumb. I want to play Pokemon, you know?
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
This says that there's currently 10 states that are lobbying to end it in their state.
Nice.
And it's all over. It's California, Illinois. I mean, it's all over the place. So then it's like, then we're
Oh,
even
it'd be
more
so
jumbled.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think we're now on like a big states' right kick. Like everyone's just like, oh, it's going to be up to the states now. So yeah, you're just going to have like half the states do it and half the states don't. It's going to be the same thing with like weed, how it's still like federally illegal, but you can
would
just
be-
go to a random state and probably you could buy it. You know?
It would be
Yeah.
funny if like the future Civil War was fought again, like on the grounds of like
To
we
time
should have
war.
daylight savings time, or we should have daylight
Oh.
savings. Like it has nothing to do with like civil rights or education or like Republican versus Democrat. It's all like I like waking up an hour early. Fuck
Morning
off.
people versus night people. That's
Yeah,
what it
You're
is.
one of
Larks,
those. You're one
larks
of those
versus
time
night
changers,
owls.
ain't you? You're
It's
one
the
of them
war
time
of
changers.
larks versus night
Yeah.
owls in America.
Yeah.
While the rest of the world
Morning-
deals with like Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that. We're gonna be fighting over our 1 hour of freedom left after Bidenomics.
Oh, you're one of them sun lovers.
Yeah.
Morning shift
Yo, you
versus
bet you love your
graveyard shift.
son, bro.
Yeah.
The guy has like two boys as kids. He's like, yeah, I love my sons. Like, oh yeah, but you fucking do,
If-
dude. Fucking asshole.
If we're being honest though, who wins that fight? Morning shift or graveyard shift?
Graveyard
Because
shift.
graveyard is like
Graveyard shift 9 times out of 10 because they're crazy. That's
they're
the only
just, like,
reason.
creatures in that place.
Yeah,
Because I
they're
used to work
crazy.
that shit.
Yeah.
There's less work to
And
do in
maybe
the
I'm
night.
crazy, but
I don't care.
No,
What
I
says.
don't-
Less work to do at graveyard because in the daytime you're dealing with customers. You're
All
dealing with
right,
the work.
I'm monster.
You're dealing with the regular work in the shop, but you're also dealing with customers that come in during the day. Graveyard shift only deals with backlog. So
Yeah.
I think you got to be more on your toes during the day. At night, you can take 3 or 4 edibles at a time and get your work done. Trust me, I know.
I don't know, man. I feel like most people
know.
during the night shift, especially in construction, are just on coke.
Well, that's
And
different. That's
math.
construction. See,
And
on
so-
What's
in a
a
it's
warehouse
fueled by
job-
well,
Monster.
they're going to
and-
be most of the battle is construction workers.
but in a warehouse job, it's more edibles than it would be like cocaine because you're just
Right.
you're not trying to get as much work done as possible. You're just trying
Yeah,
to
but
get
I'm not
through
worried
the
about
hours.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about warehouse workers.
Yeah,
though, to be honest
it's a
with
different.
you.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic. Warehouse
I'm
and
only
construction.
worried about construction workers.
Well, you know
That's
what?
really all I'm worried about.
I'm
I
only
think,
worried
and
about
like,
the warehouse.
well,
So,
I mean, more power to you.
I guess that's where
I don't
we
know.
stand
I've
on
know
that.
done a warehouse job, so I don't really know
on the
those.
Civil War where it's like brother versus brother. I don't know where like on the daylight savings Civil War where like the brother versus brother, warehouse versus construction workers. Like I don't know if we're on the same side. If we're
It's
on
the
opposite
noon
sides, I
to
really don't
midnight
know.
shift. That's the in between guys.
Yeah, mid shift.
Seconds of
Mid shift, fucking
Yeah.
mid
Yeah, but
shift.
think the graveyard shift, they get all the museum people as well because they do come to life in the middle of the night.
That's a
That
good
is true.
So,
point. That's a good
that
point,
kinda-
Trace.
That kind of
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder
adds
what
to their power.
we should go to this Smithsonian and see what those
And also
museum
werewolves and
artifacts think about daylight
vampires.
savings. Because I wonder if daylight savings. I bet in museums, I bet the artifacts prefer
more night.
more night.
Right.
Yeah, they prefer the hour going forward than they would the hour going back. Interesting point, Trace. Wow. Speaking of special days in the year, like daylight savings, Kenny, you were gone last week. Do you know? We talked about Leap Day last week.
Yeah.
Did you break any laws or do anything like super crazy, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on that day, or
What day was that?
on Leap Day? That was a
Remember?
that was
Thursday.
a day ending in Y, I think.
I'm sure I was.
I think it was
probably-
Thursday.
It was a
bro.
day in NY.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday.
I probably was speeding, maybe.
I should
Like,
probably
Nice,
look
dude.
that up.
Rock and roll, dude. Yeah. All right. Better than these two dorks. They didn't
It
do
was
nothing, dude.
Thursday.
loser.
Caused all kinds of chaos,
Dude,
bro.
I break laws all the time. So it doesn't matter if it's a leap day or not.
What laws do you break all the
Well,
time?
I can't say that. I'll tell you in
He
10
can
years.
incriminate himself.
You
Yeah.
break records every day.
Laws of nature.
Shortest sexual
No.
experience every day. Mason breaks
I told
it
you that in
he's
confidence.
so bad at sex. Trace, what was
Oh,
that?
you made him put his. Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mason. I didn't know you were gonna become Senator Palpatine real fast.
No, that's what my penis does at any time anyone looks at it.
Yeah, let's just move on. Let's move
Okay.
on from Donkey Kong. This is our wild segment. You know, what are we gonna talk about this time? Oh, it's not about the topic. Who's in it? Whoa, taking a sharp turn this way. We're gonna talk about something that Trace told me about last week, which is the Donkey Kong coaster that's being made.
Oh yeah, dude.
dude, this thing
Oh, I've
is
seen it.
badass.
I've never heard of it in my life.
Can you get it- is there a way to
We've
pull it
maybe
up,
talked
Trace?
about. We've maybe talked about this. I don't have a way to pull it up. Sorry.
Here, I
okay.
can. pull it up.
To where I can share it with you guys. But do we
Donkey
all like
Kong
roller
coaster?
coasters? Do we
I do.
like roller
Oh, it's a
coasters?
roller coaster. I thought we were
It's a
just talking
roller
about like
coaster.
something you put your drink on. I was like, I don't know why everyone's crapping their pants about it. Then it's a video
coaster
game.
with like a.
No, it's a roller
No,
coaster.
It's a real life roller coaster based on the video game.
It's a roller coaster.
Gotcha.
It's in Disney World, Japan, or Nintendo World or whatever in Japan. So isn't it, Trace, correct if I'm wrong, if you remember, it's like
Uh-huh.
tracks, like a roller coaster, but it's got like
Uh-huh.
gaps in it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the whole thing is like,
Looks
it's
like
like
the
Mario Kart.
traction.
Yeah, it's like it's attached to like an arm to the side. So like while you're
Right.
going, it looks like you're on the tracks, but you're really not. And then like it'll like jump over the gaps and you land and all that shit. Sounds like a blast.
I mean, it just looks like it doesn't show any actual. Like it's all like fake. It's all like computer animated.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it's been built.
Oh,
right.
I don't
yeah,
think it's been built. I think there's just digital renderings of what it will look or like how it will work, I guess.
what it's going to look like.
But I did see a clip somewhere that showed it maybe was like a miniature version of a cart like approaching where it looks like the tracks are breaking off,
Yeah.
Oh, I see
and
that
then
now.
Oh,
how
okay,
it
there we go.
how it then gets to the tracks below it,
Yeah,
just like the game.
Here,
I
let
just
me
thought it was
share-
fucking cool.
I'll share my screen real fast.
Oh,
I mean, it would be super dope. I just don't understand how. Oh,
on.
okay. So it's actually attached to
bitch.
a secondary track underneath of it.
Yeah, so you're just hovering above what you think you're riding on,
Right. Yeah.
and then there's a track below it that's
Okay.
This right
yeah.
here.
There you
Okay.
go. There's the digital
This is
rendering.
what you want.
It's pretty cool.
That is actually a pretty cool rendering. Okay, so yeah, so
I
it's on
almost-
arm. So the arm is attached underneath the tracks. It looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I almost wish I hadn't seen this, which I don't know. Would you say Disney World or something? I'll probably
I
never go
I
ride
think
it.
it's in like Nintendo
But can you imagine getting
World,
on that
Yeah,
and
this is in a
not
foreign
knowing?
Universal
language for sure.
Studios Japan, Super Nintendo
Yeah.
World jumping Donkey Kong ride.
Set to open this spring,
It looks
so
crazy.
it could be soon. But can you imagine getting on that and not knowing,
There it is, right there. Look.
Yeah, dude.
knowing nothing about it?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's from the game. Nice try.
That's not real.
That's not real, dude. If they could actually put you in a barrel and shoot you out like a cannonball, that'd be fun as shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Mario Kart, where they shoot you in the cannon a mile away. If they ever figure that out, I'm definitely
like a
getting
Sea
on.
of Thieves kind of
Yeah.
thing, where you shoot yourself, put yourself in a cannon, and you're like, I want to go straight up
Mario
in the air.
Kart. Mario Kart. They could do something cool with like a 4D like ride or something. I think.
I
Where
know
they
in
just give you goggles and then you're just like in a cart or something.
that Schlitterbahn water park in Kansas City, they have a giant like tube like river thing that you can go down, and it's like it forks off and it does like a lot of things. And when I was there with some buddies, I kept calling it the Mario Kart Koopa Falls or whatever that track is, like one of the original Mario Karts. Because it feels like when you're on it, you can like race your buddies because you can like kind of swim on the tube, and you can like bump into them and like make them go down this fork while you go down this one. It's pretty fun. I don't think it was
Yeah.
Mario Kart, but it was really long. Like because I think the river like spanned the entire water park, so like it went all the way around and like in between stuff. It was
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, I liked it. I would recommend that, and I would also recommend the
I-
world's tallest water slide, but it's closed down now because someone got decapitated on it.
They
Yeah.
tore it down. Yes,
Right after
we've
I was
talked
on it.
about that. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Gone
crazy.
forever.
Yep. For sure. I mean, as it should probably, and it's hard to keep business on something that's killed somebody.
Just going back to daylight saving time real fast. I'm just reading more articles on this is on livescience.com saying that sleep experts are calling for the end of daylight saving time, saying clocks should be forever set on standard time, as happens in Hawaii, most of Arizona, and the U.S. territories. That would provide more hours of morning daylight for adults and kids alike, thereby more properly setting the body's internal sleep-wake clock, called the
Sleep-walk
circadian
clock.
system. And I'm thinking sleep experts. Who benefits from this? From like no more daylight saving time, right? Who's benefiting from this?
Everybody.
But that means we're not getting that extra hour at the end of the day. Is that the?
I think so. Yeah, we're not like
No, we're having the same amount
losing
of
an hour.
time.
There's no gaining an hour. These clocks
Yeah.
are set on this time. There's
So
no
your
changing.
clock is forever going to be how it is right now. You'll never have to change it again from this point.
Yeah, I don't have
Right.
to change my microwave. I think it's like Kenny said earlier. I think we would just get used to it, and then we
Yeah.
would completely forget about it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Whatever. It
Even
wouldn't
if you
matter
took
anymore.
even if you took the other one where it was dark all the time, like I think at some point as humans we would just be like, that's the way it is, and It's an Aspen, and that's the way it is. Like you just wouldn't even think about it.
Aspen.
Yeah.
I mean, and we naturally, gradually get more daylight during the summer anyway, and then it reverts back the other way, where it
Right.
gets
Yeah.
darker anyway. It doesn't matter the time of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like right now, they change it at like 2 a.m. Oh, let's get more daylight. Hey, there's no daylight at 3 a.m. either. So like, what do we? Daylight's gonna start at. It's already been getting daylight sooner and sooner in the day. So then it's like, oh well, we don't want to get. It's like we don't want to get daylight too soon in the day right now. So let's push it back an hour, so it's still dark when people wake up. 'Cause
Well,
it's
I
not
think
like it's not like they change it to when like the sunset comes up. At least not in Missouri where we are. Maybe somewhere else like on the east side where the sun actually comes up. Maybe they change it to the exact moment that the sun comes up at that time. I don't know.
I think you get the hour when you fall back.
I have great balance. I don't fall for shit. And I have a
Okay.
great mind.
I
I don't
don't.
fall for shit. You know what I mean?
I think
you can't fool me.
I think I would
Fool me,
like
can't
it
get fooled
more
again.
if we treated it like New Year's Eve or New Year's. Like if we had a countdown for the Switch, like that would make it a little
Like it's
more.
like a party kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, we're gonna change the sun today,
Because in the
and it would be.
springtime,
And they call it something.
It's springtime because you're partying and you're like 10, 9, you do the whole thing like 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. One more hour of partying, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
This goes back there.
No, you lose an hour.
The guy above the
Or
bar
whichever
just like
way, yeah.
cranks
Yeah.
it back.
And then yeah, in
That
the
would be
fall
awesome.
one, you're like 3, 2, 1. Everyone get the fuck out of my house. You're an hour over the limit of the party.
Yeah.
Leave now. I want all of you
No,
gone.
you
I gotta
gain
go
an
somewhere.
hour there.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know which
So it
one
falls
you'd party
back. So
more.
you like we party for one more hour when you fall back.
I
So
don't
we
think
party-
Spring,
we're
get the
supposed
hell
to be-
out because you lost an hour.
It should be more like 420. Whereas like on April 21st, like the boss knows it's the day before what it was, but like
Right.
the employees make the decision: are they going to come into work an hour early, or are they going to come to work at this time? You know, it's like it's their
Oh.
choice. You know, free for all.
Wait, can an
But they-
individual say they don't observe it?
I was just thinking that too. Now I'm like that might cause
I mean,
a lot of issues.
Probably
I don't
not.
think
But can
so.
you imagine somebody being like, "No, I don't observe that. I came
Like-
in when I came in."
What
I
time?
mean, you can.
6 o'clock? No, it's 7.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Here,
You're
Mason,
just like, look at my watch.
But
I
then you can
changed
only
it, or
use
it
that
never
for half
changed.
a year anyway.
Mason, just pretend I'm a hot girl at a party and you're trying to like ask me out on a date. Just pretend like I'm a hottie
Okay.
and you're asking me out. Go ahead.
Hey, what are you doing later?
Oh hey, just making out with you, hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So should we
Wow.
say that now or?
No, why don't we have like a proper first date so I get to know you? Maybe
I
like
don't really like that.
maybe like next week
next week. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
we can go to the movies or and dinner and stuff and junk.
Okay. There's not really any good movies coming out next week, but I guess we can find something.
Cool. What time do
okay,
you want
when
to pick
should
me
I-
up?
I don't know. I guess what time? When do you want to watch the movie? Matinees are cheaper. We could go earlier in the day.
Your choice.
That's exactly
Ah.
what I would say. Matinees are cheaper.
Okay, maybe pick you up at 6 o'clock. We'll find something in the.
Is that 6 o'clock DST? I follow
Now it
daylight
doesn't
savings time.
matter.
Do you not follow daylight savings time? Because that's 5 o'clock for me. That's a little
Right, but
early
that-
for a movie.
That just ended like today, so like that
Well-
doesn't even matter anymore because now we're on the same schedule now.
Not anymore. No, because I still follow DST.
Right, so we're linked up.
I'm a
now.
sovereign citizen.
Right, so you've always thought it was 6 o'clock right now, and that's fair because it is 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah, but by next week for our date, daylight savings time will have come and gone, so it'll be 5 o'clock for me. I moved myself an hour back.
Oh, you followed it wrong then. Okay.
No,
This
that's
is
kinda
worse
rude.
than the
not-
Star
that is
Sign.
not the
Actually.
correct
That's
way
not
to
actu-
do
that's
that.
actually that's not how you should talk to people you just met at a party.
Well, the standard time is right now. Now is the standard time. It's just been
Standard?
back
Whoa,
to the standard time.
You mean the cis time?
Are you assuming my time right now?
Yeah.
I'm on queer
Are
time.
you?
I'm
No,
just saying you don't actually follow daylight savings time. You follow an hour behind.
Are you
it.
trying to tell me how my body's internal clock operates?
Kinda. Well, no, I'm saying you do
My
not
body, my
understand what
clock.
you're saying. No, and that's fair. More power to you. I'm just saying
Circadianist?
we are
Are
now
you a
on the same
circadianist?
time.
A circadianist.
That is exactly how that conversation would go, though.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
I would literally be
don't
like,
think I could
"That's not
date.
right."
I couldn't date
I
anyone who
just
doesn't
get
follow DST.
confused in the middle of
That's
Yeah, me too. I'd be
that's
like,
worse
"Oh,
than the star sign girl.
it.
Like,
Oh,
what's your
yeah.
Are you
sign?
ciscar? Are you what is it? What is the word again?
What's your time?
Circadian. Are you ciscadian? Ciscadian. That's what it is.
Are
Yeah.
you Ciscadian?
You ciscadian right now? Ugh. You follow that ciscadian
What's your name,
rhythm?
girl? What's your sign? No.
Yo, you know I follow
What's your
DS
time?
time.
Wait,
That
wouldn't the
girl,
girl
what's
be
your time?
ciscadian then? Because
Yeah,
she
you
doesn't
know I
change her
follow
time.
DS time. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I was gonna say I can't even follow it.
It
This
was
is
hard
so
to follow
confusing
that. It
to
was
me. I
hard to
don't even
follow
know.
that bit, anyways. As much as we were.
Yeah, I was getting pissed off because I
Well-
didn't understand how you didn't get it.
Oh, I was waiting. Well, it was a joke, and also
I know,
I was
I know.
hoping
Yeah,
that
really
I was hoping to
realistic.
get right into the time thing, and then you were like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "I thought we were just gonna jump right into you picking me up at a certain time."
No,
It's
we got to
okay.
figure out what we're doing.
I appreciate that. That's you know what? That's the level of improv that I needed added to that scene. So I'm glad you were there.
Yeah.
I'm glad
So
I
I'm a
chose
very
you.
realistic guy. If you want me
Yes,
to do something,
and
I gotta
and
do
add
it how I
information.
do it.
Yes, and turn your clocks back.
Add
Forward.
information.
Well, as of right
Onwards.
now, I don't think any sovereign citizen can just decide not to follow daylight
Yeah,
savings time.
that's a government rule. So like, if you live in that government, I think you have to follow it.
I guess your job would just be like you're not following our rules, so you're fired. Like they would
Right.
actually have grounds to fire you. You wouldn't have anything to stand on, I guess.
Right.
Like a
But it
pirate
would just be
with no legs.
really funny. Yeah, just be a double peg leg.
Sorry. I said
Hey, add
pirate because peg
information.
leg, then I was like, no wait, he
Yeah,
has a
same.
leg to stand on. Legless pirate.
Yeah, but
sorry, I was
then
running
his bird also has a peg leg.
Nice.
That would be really funny.
I watched a
That's hilarious.
I think it was Vice, like a little mini documentary about a sovereign citizen. And the guy's just like, "Do you have a license?" He's like, "No, I don't do that." I'm like, "You drive a car?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't use it for work and I don't cross state lines, so I don't need a license." And I'm like, "You can do that?" Like, I don't
I
understand.
don't think you can do that. I think it doesn't matter if you cross state lines.
I think that's still illegal.
I think you're still
if
legal
he
to
has
drive.
auto
So you
insurance,
pulled over in your
maybe
state.
it's okay.
I don't.
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know why. Like, you can have that opinion, but it's just like it sounds like a lot of work because you're always gonna get like. I don't know. Maybe it's me being like stuck in the matrix of all this, but when you're that far out or that far removed, it's like it just seems like more work to
For sure.
always explain yourself or
Yeah.
defend yourself. It's like, ugh.
But I think that's
that.
what half those people like to do.
Oh, dude, they do.
Yeah,
Dad watches,
that's true too.
Dad
That's
watches
true
those videos all the time, where it's like I'll come upstairs and I'll just hear Dad, like he'll be watching his iPad, and you know the video just be like, "Sir, you can't be out here." Actually, according to this statute, Article 15.67E, I can be right here on
Yeah.
this exact spot. You can't say anything about it. Fuck you, cop. You can go fuck yourself.
I get those
You
Yeah,
shouldn't
man.
talk to me like that. That's really mean. No, I can actually say whatever the fuck I want to you, you dipshit, because I pay your taxes, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And Dad's like,
Yeah.
he's right. He can say all that if he wants.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
he's
I
but
think
he's
he is right.
he's an asshole about it though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's
and
just
he shouldn't be an
baiting them
asshole
to-
about it.
It's like, why are
Yeah.
you're like proving your point, but it's like, why did you go out there to prove this point? It means nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you're harassing people like an asshole. There should be a
Right.
law against assholes.
No, there shouldn't be a law to protect cops.
I get the
No,
video.
that's not what I said at all.
Okay.
Laws against people who are assholes, who like not saying like a free speech thing. I'm saying like people that go out of their way to like harass and like just intimidate and are just rude for no reason to people. I think that's fucked up. That's just like, what are you doing? Why are you spending your day like that?
Because people are trolls. But
Not like
that would
people were
never. You can
humans.
never get rid of that. That's freedom of speech. That's one of the big ones.
You know how we're a sports show and all?
Right?
Yeah. And a religious show.
Have you ever
Right.
heard that there's a football team called the Buffalo Bills, right?
Okay.
Heard
Their
of
head
Silence of the
coach,
Lambs.
I don't know, it's probably like 5 years ago now. He during a team meeting was like trying to hype up his guys, I guess, and he credited the terrorists of 9/11 for having like good coordination and communication.
I feel like they did.
And It's
That's
like,
a
of course, he
fair
immediately
argument.
apologized, but it's like, whoa. what are
Yeah,
you
that's something you
talking
don't say
about?
out loud to a group of people, but
You're not
I
on a
mean,
What in
podcast.
the
You can't just
world?
cut that out like I do.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know that
that's-
guy had a couple sips of vodka and was just like, I mean, if you think about it, though, that
I
was
would-
some pretty good teamwork.
They got fucked up in strip clubs and stuff the night before, so they were all hungover. Probably.
Yeah.
The terrorist?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
They
fully
partied
succeed.
their
What were
asses
they,
off
2
in
for,
New York.
what were they, 2.5 for
Is
5?
that a true thing? I mean,
That's
I can see
very
why
true.
they
No,
did that.
That's
Okay.
true. They partied at strip clubs.
Well, because
the
they
night
were,
before.
I mean, going to
Same
kill
as the
themselves the
Dallas-
next day. So
Same as the Secret Service under JFK's care the night before his assassination. They all went partying in Dallas and got
well,
super
that was an
fucked
inside
up.
job for
And
sure.
they gave the gun away to the newbie because they wouldn't let the newbie go out and party with them and have fun because he was a newbie. So they gave him the gun because he wasn't drunk and hungover, and he accidentally fired off the gun because he wasn't trained. JFK was assassinated by his own men sent to protect him.
Whoa.
Could be.
I
I've
threw a
seen the
hair tie
video
at
of
the
the-
screen.
the
You couldn't
Secret
see it, but
Service guy
I threw a
turned
hair tie at the camera. And I don't know where it is now, and I'm set.
What'd you say, Kenny?
I'd seen a like a slowed down video of it to where it looks like one of the Secret Service guys turns around in the car and shoots him.
Oh, it just pops him real quick.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that come
You
up
seen that?
lately.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Well, of course, it's like this Zapruder film, so it's very grainy. But
yeah.
if you go into it like looking for that, it does
see it,
kind of
yeah.
look like the guy
Where
makes
is
that move.
JFK's brain? It's gone because they knew if they would have looked at the brain, the bullet fragments would have been the fragments from a Secret Service bullet, because that gun was specifically made for Secret Service. No one in the world had that gun yet. It was one of the first AK-47s on the market, and if it was the bullet fragments from Lee Harvey Oswald's gun would not have made the same fragments, so it wouldn't have matched. So it would have been clear. That's why when they fought against bringing him to the Dallas hospital or the White House hospital, and they were fighting about it because the Secret Service knew they fucked up, and then they ended up taking him to Dallas, and then they were like, "Where's his brain?" And everyone was like, "Oh, it was right there. I don't know." And
I think it was all over
Yeah.
Jackie's clothes.
Yeah, I think she put
Yeah.
some of it in her pocket.
Now there's a Frankenstein. There's a Frankenstein walking around somewhere, talking like JFK. I almost
He's a
stopped
smooth
it. I was-
talker. I like his voice actually.
I was gonna
so.
try and do one an improv, but an improvisation, but I don't know how to do it.
I need a line to say. 'cause
Yeah, I couldn't think of a
Ask
quote.
not what you can do for your country. Wait. Ask not
Yeah,
what your
that's pretty
country
good.
can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Or
The
something
only
like that.
thing to fear is fear itself.
Yeah. The only thing I have to go off of it though
Oh.
is the old Call of Duty Zombies map where you can play as JFK.
Right.
Oh yeah, all
Oh,
the
Yeah,
That was a
wow,
fun
I forgot
one.
about that.
That was
Ah,
5 or
Maryland.
whatever. That was a fun
Marilyn
one.
Monroe. My back hurts.
Yeah.
He had back problems
That's pretty
first, so
good.
it was not a dig.
Yeah,
my
I know.
sister had a
I
lobotomy. I don't know.
Wasn't a shot
That's
at me,
why
I
he was
know.
sitting in a different spot on the car. Guys, we could talk about JFK being assassinated by his own people all day long.
I
All
was
he could do it
born
all
on
day
his
long.
assassination day. 30 years later.
I was gonna say, yeah, years later though. How old are
Yeah.
you? You in your
30 years later from then. 30.
legal. Yes. Not going to jail today.
That was 60 years ago. That's
All right.
crazy.
Okay, let's get to the end of the show. I want to end the show real fast with well, not real fast, but I want to end the show with some more daylight saving time myths. Okay, and I don't know if these are myths. Like I'm not sure from reading this website if these are myths that they're proving wrong, or
just
if these
general
are like
myths.
if these are just the myths. They're like, yeah, don't believe these things, but it doesn't say an explanation, so I'm just gonna read them out. So daylight saving time myths. Turns out people tend to have more heart attacks on the Monday following the spring forward switch to daylight savings time. Researchers reporting in 2014 in the journal Open Heart found that heart attacks increased 24% on that Monday compared to the daily average number for the week surrounding the start of DST. Which, again, I don't know if that's a myth, if that's like true. That's what it says. So there you go. Take it up with live science. Let's see. Before the Uniform Time Act was passed in the U.S., there was a period in which any place could or could not observe DST, leading to chaos. So this is what would happen if we had sovereign citizens not following the code. For instance, if one took a 35-mile bus ride from Moundsville, West Virginia, to Steubenville, Ohio, who hasn't done that once or twice in their life, he or she would pass through no fewer than 7 time changes.
Ew.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
Jesus.
In
That-
what, 35 miles?
35 miles.
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
Okay, that would be stressful.
That's a little much.
A study published in 2009 in the Journal of Applied Psychology showed that during the week following the spring forward into DST, mine workers got 40 minutes less sleep and had 5.7% more workplace injuries than they did during any other days of the year. That's some like OSHA fucking
For
abacus.
sure, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Get all that
that's
shit together.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. Pets may notice the time change as well. So, who has pets here? Yep. You don't have a pet. You're about to have one though. Since
For a
humans set the
child.
routines for their fluffy loved ones, dogs and cats living indoors and even cows are living indoors, I assume is what it's saying, are disrupted when, say, you bring the food an hour late or come to milk them later than usual. You know how annoyed your dog gets when you're trying to milk them an hour later.
Yeah.
According
Molly
to
hates it.
Allison Holdhus Small,
Holder
Holdhus
Small?
dash Small, 2 last names, a research
Holder
assistant
Small.
at CSIRO Livestock Industries, an Australian-based research and development organization. I don't even know why I had to read the last part of that. So, yeah, so pets can also notice the change, maybe just because they get put on a schedule. And then the last one I have here, the fact that the time changes at 2 a.m., at least in the U.S., may have to do with practicality. For instance, it's late enough that most people are home from outings, and setting the clock back an hour won't switch the date to yesterday's date. And in addition, it's early enough not to affect early shift workers and early churchgoers, according to the web exhibits and online museum.
We have night shifters at work that hate it because they have to work 13 hours that day.
I think
that
I've
does
heard
suck
of
bad.
that happening to people where they have to do that.
We work 12-hour shifts, and that's long enough anyway. And
Yeah.
they have to work another 2 a.m. all over, and then they don't get
That's
off till 6
crazy.
in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do they get 11 hours when they lose an hour though?
Yeah, I think they do, and they get paid for the full 12,
12.
I suppose.
And then the 13 they get overtime probably.
Yep. Yeah.
But you're still working an extra hour, so it's dumb.
That's what kind of works. All right, everybody. So we're gonna do final remarks real fast, just so we can cover all of our bases right before we end, and we'll get to the celebrity quote. We'll call it for this daylight saving. I think we did a pretty good job with daylight savings, saving daylight saving time. You know what I mean, guys? You catch what I'm
It sounds
saying,
wrong.
bros? Are you
Yeah, it
riding
sounds
the
wrong when
wave
you-
of concise understanding with me, bros? Are you
No.
hanging 10 on the nar, bros?
Honestly,
like
most of the words you've used in this podcast I haven't understood. So.
Rock and roll, homie. Let's see here. Kenny. Whoops, I should have said Trace first, but we're going with Kenny. So Kenny, going back to your love interest with the sun.
Yes.
What
my
if we
favorite
what if we
girl.
talked about today that you think you're gonna absorb and bring back to that relationship, you think?
What am I gonna? I'm gonna get an extra
Yeah.
hour to absorb her,
Ooh,
right?
God, I'm
Yeah.
so turned on by that whenever you talk like that.
And
I'm gonna be thinking
another
about that.
whole hour, another whole hour of that.
I'm gonna
of
spend
that
my extra hour in the bathtub
soaking-
thinking about you in
soaking
the
her
sun,
in.
bro. Woo! Damn!
That
That water's
vitamin,
gonna be boiling, bro.
Yeah.
I'm turned
Vitamin
on
D
right
something.
and then I have to take supplements in the other part of the year when I don't get enough of her.
now. Oh yeah, I bet you get those that seasonal depression
Yeah,
or whatever because the
fatness.
sun's not around as much as she used to be. Trace, so the sun dried tomato. What are you gonna take from this, and are you gonna apply this to your sun dried tomato theory? Do you think you have some solid ground with that, getting rid of sun dried tomatoes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be the number one mission in everybody's life to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a waste of the energy in people and the sun. Um, so yeah, I mean, I just think I'm gonna double down and improve my mission to completely rid the world of sun-dried tomatoes. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, man. We gotta keep that sun going. Just tomatoes drain all the power out of it, or I don't know all the
Yeah.
sciences, but I assume that's how sun-dried tomatoes are made.
Of course. It's in the name.
Mason, So you finished your book series. You know, your last book's coming out next fall. Everyone's so excited about the ending of this Time to Save Daylight series. It's going to be a crazy ending, better than Harry Potter, I think personally. Game of Thrones, it's like it's way above Game of Thrones. Fuck that book series, dude. Compared to yours, it's garbage.
Well,
No,
they don't
so
even
Mason,
have
what I
it
want to know
ending.
is,
Yeah, there's no ending to that.
are you gonna stick with your next book? If you're gonna keep writing, are you gonna stick with the daylight saving theme, or are you gonna try other environmental themes for your books, or what's your next plan?
Well, here's the thing. This is on book 20 now, and I started this as just a college assignment, and it's kind of just blown way out of proportion. I just kind of want to not do anything like that anymore for a while. Maybe
Understandable.
be like an astronaut.
Oh, okay, nice. Did you
Yeah.
train at all, or you gonna
No.
start training once the book's out?
No, I think I'm just going to go to NASA's website and apply. I think that's all you have to do.
I think Elon Musk has applications. I think they're pretty easy. I don't even think you
Oh
need an
yeah,
MBA.
I
You don't
guess
even need an MBA for
if
that.
if
So
I
you're good.
if I don't get accepted with NASA, I guess I'll go there. But
Yeah, it's always a good second place.
yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, everybody. That has been the daylight saving uh episode of the Mellow Brick Road. I'm gonna end this show off real fast with. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna end the show off real fast because everyone has to give
Nice.
their socials real fast. So we should have done this while we were talking. I should have said this. Trace, give us your social.
765. Oh.
No, Trace, give us your social media account. Go.
T-Dub
Oh.
Projects on Facebook. I do some woodworking stuff, so come check out some of the last couple projects. Buy a shirt, buy a hoodie. And I wanted to say support your local barber shop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Never been to one. Kenny, what about you, man? What you got going on, social media wise? We're keeping people up to date for you, by the way. Last week I made sure to say again, Case Law Fit, no good.
It's no
Kenny's
good. They're
Kenny
still
Smithy
sending.
33.
They're sending people. They're sending people messages about wanting to be
Cowboy.
An
I don't know,
astronaut for NASA.
a fitness instructor or something. I don't know. Maybe they took the fit part at the end of my
Oh,
Oh.
and ran
Yeah,
with it.
probably.
trying
That's
their
easy
best, I guess.
clickbait for
I
sure.
get a lot of messages about it. Anyway, no, it's Kenny_Smithy33 now is my Instagram. So
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. So remember, if you see Case Law Fit, fuck that account. We're going Kenny_Smithy33. That's where you're gonna find that prime time, medium rare content. Mason,
Yeah.
kill you. Give us your social media account.
Oh, okay. Instagram and Threads, Mason Greenwell 52 on there. TikTok, M Greenweed. Is that what you wanted, or
Yeah, what can people find on there? I mean,
besides the places I just said?
no, what can they
Oh,
find?
what can they find? Oh,
your manifesto.
Fucking Path 90. what are
no,
you
it's
doing
not on
here?
there. That used to be on Twitter, but I deleted that. No, basically just clips of the show, just kind of, seeing, just trying to get it out there, show what the show's about and what we do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mason, for contributing. I really appreciate your help. You're really good at talking and listening, except for the second part.
Okay.
Everyone, if
I
you
was
want to follow
about to
me on
say.
Instagram, it's at Van Windsor. Check me out there. It's where we're going to get all the announcements for the show. It's getting warmer now, so I'm probably going to start picking up trash again on the side of the road because boaters just don't care.
They're
So
boating
look out
on the
for
side of the
that.
road?
Huh?
They're boating on the side of the road?
It doesn't make any sense because we haven't gotten much rain, so the ditches are very dry right now. But I do what I can. I get a big trash can or bag so I can like cover the whole thing now, as long as it's not like a big pontoon. So yeah, at Van Windsor, check me out there. You get all my life updates and stuff like that. If you want to follow the show on Instagram, it's at Mellow Brick Road Podcast. We got clips, shorts, what are they? Reels. I think those are clips on Instagram. Reels. We got full videos. We got images of the episodes, announcements for the episodes, all the thumbnails for every week that are different every single week that I make. That's on Instagram. Check those out. Facebook as well. Mellow Brick Road on there. Go on there. Go to the. I almost said shop, but we don't have a shop yet.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out shirts. I'll let you guys know when I get that figured out. And
Okay.
stickers and stuff. If you want stickers, or if you want to see behind the scenes stuff, or like bonus clips that you haven't seen on YouTube or Spotify, patreon.com/mellowbrickroad. You can find it all there. That's where all the fun stuff is. If you want to send us a message directly, ask us a question, tell us to do stuff that's going to embarrass us in our future careers.
Hmm.
mellowbrickroad.podcast@gmail.com. Right there. Kenny, can you finish the? I'm gonna go halfway with my finger. Can you finish the underline or the above line? I guess. Yeah, underneath me and Kenny's fingers, right above Trace and amazing. Can you like pick it up over your heads? Yeah. There you go. Nice. I like it. Yeah. We're punching. We're pushing it. We're trying to get down there. Get down there. All right. mellowbrickroad.podcast@gmail.com. Message us there. Send us all your recommendations for whatever. Food challenges, nasty food videos. Send us there, and we'll post them on the show. Follow our Twitch,
Nothing milk.
Mellow Brick Road Podcast, so we can start doing Twitch like games and board games and D&D and food shit and games. And I already said that. Check us out on Twitch as well. Also check out my Twitch, OnlyVans. Very fun. I think that's everything. If you're watching this on Spotify, hi, what's up? Give us a like, comments, answer the weekly question and the weekly poll. I think the weekly poll this week is going to be:
Did Bush do 9/11?
Did Bush do 9/11?
Or maybe we should keep it to daylight saving time.
Did Bush cause daylight savings time by causing 9/11? That's the whole poll question. And then the weekly question is going to be: do you want daylight savings time to go away? Yes or no? There you go. There's that. So yeah, follow us on. If you're watching on Spotify, answer those questions for us. I look at them every week. And then if you're on YouTube, what's up? Subscribe, like, save us on your watch later, put us in your playlist of liked videos, all that good stuff. All right, I think that's the end of the path. And to end it all off, we're gonna do a famous Missourian, as I do. And this week is gonna be Walt Disney.
Woo-hoo.
Trace and I, we went to school with him.
Yep.
Same school as him.
Yep.
He grew up in Marceline, Missouri. Sometimes they say Kansas City, but I think his family moved around a lot when he was younger, so it was like Kansas City, Marceline but I think he was at Marceline for like the core childhood times and like into adulthood. So Walt Disney is where Marceline's where you go. Great little town. It's where me and Trace are from. Well, one of the places we're from. We're also from our mother's uterus.
Okay.
Shout out.
So his quote, Walt Disney's quote is: "You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world. But it takes people to make the dream a reality." Mellow manifestations, you bitches.
Peace and blessings.
Love y'all.
Stay safe out there.
You think
Turn your clock back.
you think that quote was about human sacrifices?